Good morning and welcome to the Manchester stand. Yesterday we looked at some projects that are helping to increase the global offer of Manchester by building on existing infrastructure assets. In that instance, railway stations in the city centre. Here we're looking at the biggest and boldest exploitation of our existing transport infrastructure, and probably the biggest single statement of Manchester's global reach and competitiveness in Airport City, Manchester. I'm going to hand over to Lynda Shillaw in a moment just to talk about the detail of the scheme, and many of you will be familiar with it. Airport City is a big idea. It's not an original idea. We've seen success in other places, in other parts of the world, and we know that we can replicate that in Manchester with the right investment mix, the right investment partners, and the right mix of uses. And it's important to bear in mind that Airport City is not just about logistics, it's not just about offices, it's also, picking up on the theme from yesterday, very much about science and advanced medicine as part of the product mix with the Medipark as part of the overall Airport City offer. So it's a hugely ambitious undertaking. You heard about it last year. There's been significant progress made over the course of the last 12 months. I'd like to hand over to Lynda Shillaw to take you through some of the detail. Thank you.
Thanks, Eamon. And for those of you who've never seen me read with glasses, unfortunately, I'm not that age. So I'm delighted to be here, not only to update you on the landmark development, but actually as a part of a city delegation that's internationally recognised as being together, as being strong, as being innovative, and with a track record for delivery. And this is going to come through as we update you on what we've been up to over the last 12 months and actually what we're going to be doing going into the next. This time last year, we'd already announced the formation of the Airport City joint venture, and we were introducing both the joint venture partners and our new colleagues from BCG to the delight of Cannes and the warmth of a Manchester partnership welcome. And I am actually delighted to say that the JV partners are all here, and BCG are also here, so we actually didn't put them off with what we did to them last year. In June, BCG returned the compliment, and they hosted the joint venture in China. And a delegation, not just from Airport City, but supported by Midas, by UKTI, by the Manchester China Forum, and others flew to China. And it was all with really a single objective. It was about promoting Manchester and promoting Airport City Manchester. The delegation visited Beijing, Shenzhen, Shanghai, and Tianjin, and I apologise if I have not pronounced any of those correctly. And we talked to over 300 Chinese companies, all with plans to internationalise their business and actually expand into Europe. And the level of interest in Airport City has actually been strong. BCG have continued to promote Airport City in China and understand the requirements and build relationships with occupiers and investors. This has been supported by further visits from Argent and the joint venture, and our next visit is planned in May when we go to Hong Kong, Chengdu and Beijing. And in Chengdu, we're actually going to be presenting at the Aerotropolis Asia Conference, again, this scheme. As Eamon said, these are global schemes. They're not just done sort of in the UK, they're actually done all over the world. And our scheme actually has quite significant standing outside of the UK. Our international focus has extended to markets beyond China, presenting the development in Denver at the Aerotropolis Americas Conference in December, and beyond in 2015 as we follow the airlines serving Manchester into their domestic markets. We've been learning fast, and the insights that these visits have provided us to the kinds of international businesses wanting to expand from their domestic markets, and the investment and occupational requirements have been invaluable, from US advanced manufacturers to Chinese entrepreneurs. And we've responded to this by widening our portfolio of building and investment opportunities. At MIPIM last year, we also promised to deliver a new kind of business support service designed to provide guidance and to help the businesses based at Airport City. We soft launched a product called Connect. This was our bespoke concierge service, which is there to be utilised by any business choosing to locate at Airport City. And there are two components to the service. First one is Connect Business, and this offers services such as legal advice, accounting and employment support, and it's provided in partnership with Deloitte and Edelshall Goddard and UKTI, with many of the services available at no cost to the occupier and all managed by highly qualified and experienced account managers. Connect Business removes the complexity and delays that can sometimes be experienced by businesses expanding into a new jurisdiction. And secondly, second component to this is Connect Life, which provides a complimentary personal service supporting employees who may be new to the UK or to the region. And it helps with access to services to buy a home, to locate a school for their child, or even to just help with finding the best local restaurants and amenities. And both services have been launched in China, but are available to any business who wants to establish a major base at Airport City and needs professional advice and support to make the most of the potential that comes from being in such a fantastic location. So what's next? Well, on the MIPIM stand last March, the partnership confirmed that DHL would be moving to Airport City. And they did. They moved into their new advanced distribution centre in November. The building was completed ahead of programme, and they were up and running in time for their Christmas peak. Following the occupation by DHL, we're now moving forward with our plan for the next 2 phases of what until recently we called Airport City South, but it's now known as Global Logistics. And this part of the estate has seen very strong market interest from both potential occupiers and investors. Responding to this demand, 2 additional planning permissions have now been secured for the Global Logistics site. The first one is a product we call Alpha. It's a 135,000 square foot facility, and it's targeted at industrial occupiers with requirements ranging from 17 to 30,000 square feet. Planning permission was granted in January and will be on site in the next few months. We're building Alpha in recognition of both the high level of occupier interest in the product, but also the reality that many businesses needing this kind of space just don't have the time or the inclination to negotiate a pre-let. They actually want to be in occupation yesterday. And we know the market demand is there, and we have the resources and confidence as a partnership to just get on and deliver. The second permission grants approval for 260,000 square feet for a new unit that will be delivered in partnership with Stowford Developments and MAG. Development will also start this year, and it's not dependent on getting a pre-let for the construction to begin. So following on from the DHL development and investing in the infrastructure needed to create the Global Logistics estate, 2015 will see an additional 400,000 square feet out of the total of 1.2 million square feet available being delivered at Global Logistics. I better be careful there, haven't I? Of course, we're not limiting ourselves to that number, and if you have a requirement, there are members of sort of our agency team and the Argent team are actually around the room, so come and talk to us. So it's been a really busy year on South, and this year is about to get a lot busier. But actually, what's been happening at North? The strength of interest in Global Logistics has actually been matched by interest in office, hotels, and advanced manufacturing in Airport City North. And in Airport City North, we're developing a new Manchester business district on top of what must be the best transport-connected node in the north. If not, it's one of the best transport-connected nodes in the UK. And from Airport City's central business district, you can get anywhere in the UK by train, by bus, or from the motorway network. And since last November, we have a Metrolink connection, which links us to much of the region. And of course, you're within a sort of 5-minute walk of one of the UK's 3rd largest airport, one of the busiest terminals in the UK and Europe. And that will link you to destinations across the world. So in 2015, we're going to be developing infrastructure. The first phases of infrastructure to enable fully serviced plots within 2 distinct zones of Airport City North will start to take place. Work's already started on site to connect the new utilities corridor to new plots clustered around the transport interchange. The next part of that work will see the installation of new public realm, setting off the first 3 plots in that zone. And we'll also be starting work on the first major phase of infrastructure extending north of the existing airport buildings. This work will install the first half of the new distributor road and will bring in further utilities enhancements to Airport City North. And we expect to be on site early in the summer. And I've talked a lot about our international activity, but we are by no means forgetting the domestic market. 60% of UK businesses are located within 2 hours of Airport City. And we are at various stages of discussion with a significant number of occupiers who are not just looking at office space, but they're interested in our hotels, the advanced manufacturing and technology. And to all of you tech companies out there, we're part of an enterprise zone, which actually means we will be installing super fast broadband, so big pipes. We developed a suite of costed programme designs for all of these use classes and some new opportunities that we are currently working up. And I'm confident that we will be making more announcements as we go through the year on this scheme. This scheme is really gathering pace and momentum, but we're at the stage that if I told you, I'm going to have to kill you. So unfortunately, I can't tell you much more today. As you may already know, planning permission has been granted for a 350-bedroom hotel adjacent to the transport interchange. And we've since made a planning application for a further building, which together will begin to form a crescent around the first phase of public realm in the zone. The new building, a 75,000 square foot office block, which is the build that's going on in the background, will be the first large office constructed at Airport City Manchester. Major national and international businesses are looking for high quality space, with not just great access to Manchester's pool of talent and the region's markets, but as a base for their international operations. And our existing buildings, Voyager and 4M, are already full of these types of businesses and have been for the last couple of years, and demand is strong. We've actually been turning people away. Supported by strong occupier demand, the joint venture is ready to develop this building, bringing forward a great new office into the market, and will be on site in the summer, ready for new occupiers at the end of the year. As with Alpha, our commitment to this new office building reflects our belief as a joint venture in the quality of the offer, and our confidence in the strength of our city's economy, our confidence in Manchester's Airport City proposition, and our confidence in a partnership and a team that has the experience to get on and deliver. Once we're back in Manchester, we'll share all of the details, facts and figures on the new buildings with you. Again, the guys who are around here have got memory sticks, we've got apps, we've got all sorts of stuff that you can look at while you're here if you wish. And so much like the story of Manchester, the story of Airport City is one of progress, it's one of delivery, and it's one of confidence in the future. I'd like to thank you for listening. I'd like to thank you for your continued support, not just of sort of Manchester, but actually of the Airport City ambitious projects, as Eamon outlined earlier on. And before I go, I'd like to finish with one exclusive, which is the movie, which is actually part of our 2015 marketing promotion campaign. Thank you very much. Thank you.
This is Airport City Manchester, where the world is engaged. Progress is clear. And promises are delivered. Where we're up in the pace and breaking new ground to turn our vision into reality. We're building for business, but designing for people. With world-class workplaces and vibrant public spaces. We're speculating development with confidence, with certainty. We're creating, we're placemaking to offer choice and quality, with transport at its core. We're combining the best of the country with the best of the city. So you'll always have the world at your feet. Airport City Manchester. Be part of it.